receive unsolicited song lyrics in the mail?
Well, I do. I actually get about 20 to 30 tapes a day, and quite often, depending on where I am about it, they will be sent back to the people. Sometimes the people in my office will go through them to see if there's something that they think I ought to listen to.
Hi, John. What was it like working with George Burns in Oh, God?
Well, it was wonderful. George is he's just a wonderful, wonderful man, and he's an absolute professional, and he's great to be around. He has millions of stories to tell from the old days in vaudeville, and it's really a great pleasure to be with him on any occasion, and to have acted with him was wonderful.
Now that Betcher Hall is going to be closed after November 30th.
We should explain for those of you watching around the country, the community of Denver is collectively depressed by apparently the inability to settle a symphony strike, which is not altogether that uncommon in this country. There is more than one symphony out because of inability to come to terms. But this is especially impacting here because this hall will close without the symphony. And John is going to solve this whole problem for us.
You know, it would be, I can't believe that we build something like this, and then out of our inability to work together or understand the problems that people are facing today, and with inflation and everything, with the kind of money that we spend on political campaigns, that we cannot afford to pay these musicians enough to live. If I get the chance, if something does get worked out, perhaps next summer we could do a benefit concert for the symphony here.
Doesn't it bother you that and you too, that all this boosting you do of Colorado, and all the boosting you're doing in Colorado now, is just going to bring us more growth and more smog and more population?
Good question. It's a good question. John, you've met that question head on, and it's a good one.
I think it is a good question. You know, we are blessed with what we have here in Colorado, and it does not belong to us. It is perhaps our responsibility, but it is our responsibility also to share it with others who might find peace and relaxation here in these mountains, and to do so in a very responsible way, in a conscientious way that does not destroy the land, does not tear down, and in fact negate all that we have here to share. I think it has to be controlled. Allowing visitors to come here doesn't necessarily require that we have to grow to the extent that we're growing right now. The growth in the western slope that's going to go on with the coal or the oil shale industry is a very scary thing to me. You've taken so much water away from us on the western slope, we're not going to have enough when those people come there. And what are we going to do about that? It's a problem that we all share and that we need to face and we need to handle, and it hasn't been answered yet, in my opinion.
John, with just a little time left in this segment, can I ask you to pick that instrument up at least one more time for us?
I've mentioned the WinStar project, and one of the gentlemen who's involved in the WinStar project is named Buckminster Fuller. He's a very, very dear friend of mine. I consider the genius of our times. And this is a song that I wrote for Bucky that's part of the new album that I'm out in L.A. recording. I suppose that there are those who'll say he had it easy, had it made in fact before he'd even begun. But they don't know the things I know. I was always with him. It may sound strange, we were more than friends. It's hard to try and tell the truth when no one wants to listen, when no one really cares what's going on. And it's hard to stand alone when you need someone beside you. Your spirit and your faith, they must be strong. What one man can do is dream. What one man can do is love. What one man can do is change the world and make it young again. Don't you see what one man can do? as shaded as his eyes might be. That's how bright his mind is. That's how strong his love for you and me. A friend to all the universe, grandfather of the future, and everything that I would like to be. What one man can do is dream. What one man can do is love. What one man can do is change the world and make it new again. Don't you see what one man can do? What one man can do is dream. And what one man can do is love. What one man can do is change the world and make it work again. Can't you see what one man can do?